Right, this morning we shall be looking at the genocide in Gaza. There are new developments. U.S. officials threaten sanctions over ICC warrants against Netanyahu. We shall be looking at the plans of the SNIT to sell its 60% stake in some hotels in the country to Rock City. And also, AG impressed on me to falsify my testimony to implicate Ato Forsen. Witness tells court. And then finally, we shall be looking at the Hobson Adoye issue. He's been held before court, and I understand he's been given a bail of 20,000 Ghana cedis, and this comes after he made some comments on TV where he said that he detonated a dynamite 2 weeks before the December 7 elections in 2016. And so these are the topics that we shall be discussing on the show this morning. Without further ado, we'll get into the very first one. I'll read a few paragraphs. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has suggested that he will work with U.S. lawmakers to issue sanctions against the International Criminal Court over arrest warrants issued against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Some Congress members, including Republican Senators James Risch and Lindsey Graham, are working on legislation to sanction the ICC and hoping to gather bipartisan support. Together, we'll find a way to register our displeasure with the ICC because our displeasure with the because if they'll do this to Israel, we are next, said Graham on Tuesday, indicating U.S. officials' sense of their complicity in the genocide in Gaza. What I hope to happen is that we level sanctions against the ICC for this outrage to not only help our friends in Israel, but protect ourselves over time. At a May 21 hearing of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Senator Risch asked Blinken if he would support legislation that would take the ICC to task for sticking its nose in the business of countries that have an independent, legitimate, democratic judicial system. It's a long story, but I'll end the year and also allow Chairman to begin the conversation on this subject matter.
Thank you, Koku, and then greetings to Comrade IEC and the Venerable Alhaji ABA. Well, my understanding of Comrade is that you are a friend. Check Google search.
But the communist socialists, these are property grabbing.
only not grabbing.
Property grabbing.
Owning.
So, if you check the meaning of comrade, I'll be
companion, friend, colleague, associate, partner.
But in the political balance,
it's
ordinary socialist and communist. This is an ordinary meaning. Comradeship is reserved for people who are eloquent champions of the oppressed, disadvantaged.
No, for the socialist and communistic ideals.
Who work with the grassroots people, who have the interest and well-being of the masses at heart.
No,
that's comradeship.
Learning style. You pluck the feathers off the
comradeship
chicken,
we know,
and then you leave it, and then that's their ideals. So, is it Stalin or Lenin? Stalin.
Greetings to Comrade. Greetings to Comrade IEC and to Alhaji ABA for
I can sue you for this.
Well, I'm waiting. Why are you behaving like the Attorney General?
He's my boss and my.
He said he has video evidence.
That
can be a very scandalous Attorney General.
The man is a disgrace.
They have video evidence.
Video evidence of what? It's a disgrace.
Of Ato Forsen coming to him and pleading that he should drop the case. And you as Attorney General comes to say this. So since when did the video was it obtained? You are a scandal of monumental proportion. But I'll leave that one.
What is the scandal in that?
In fact, he is unfit to continue to be Attorney General. Because somebody visited you and was trying to influence justice. And then you decided that you will hold the video until when you were told that you have been calling people at odd hours. Anyway, let me make the case for the International Criminal Courts. First and foremost, probably this is the first time in over 20 years since the establishment of the International Criminal Court that they have gone beyond the shores of Africa and Latin America to make a pronouncement on some Western or European, so to speak, Middle East people. And for me, it is to begin to have an illicit confidence in the court system. South Africa must be commended for its bold and courageous stand in defense of the oppressed, the vanquished people of Palestine. The decision of South Africa to take on mighty Israel, to that extent the United States of America, and to call the bluff of all who think that by having weapons and money, you control the world, and insisting that rights of the Palestinian people must be respected. It was South Africa that took up this matter to the International Criminal Court, pointing out the genocide, mass killing of people, in fact, the complete annihilation of a whole group of citizens. And if you listen to the Defense Minister of Israel and you listen to the Prime Minister of Israel, they have only one motive: to wipe out completely the people of Palestine, starting from Gaza. And so they do not want to leave any living thing. By living thing, it includes trees, it includes animals, and it includes human beings. They are destroying everything. Water bodies are destroyed and polluted. Dead bodies are thrown into rivers so as to make the waters undrinkable. Nothing, no food is allowed amongst the people. Nothing can be compared and saying that is a genocide. In that struggle, we expect the rest of Africa to join in that struggle, because what is happening to the Palestinian people is that they have their land, gave a portion of their land to people that were persecuted, and today they are being forced out of their own land. Africa has gone through a similar situation. So any African leader, including President Akufo-Addo, who goes to stand and sit by Israel, is an unfortunate creature. And I think that yesterday, President William Ruto was in the United States, and this question was asked him about what he thinks about the situation in Israel, given that he has also come to state the position of President Akufo-Addo that Kenya will stand with Israel. And he met, after that pronouncement, the Kenyans just revolted. He yesterday avoided answering questions on the atrocities and the international warrant issued on the Israeli Prime Minister. I think that what is happening, and the United States support an attempt to sanction the International Criminal Court, is testimony that, after all, it is not Israel that is committing the mayhem in Gaza and in Palestine. It is the United States, but using Israel as a proxy to achieve what they want to achieve. But we have always known that not long ago, natural gas had been discovered in the Gaza area. And this natural gas, Israel and the United States of America are so excited that they will take ownership of the natural gas. But they also know that Gaza is largely populated by the Hamas and its supporters. So to be able to take that, they had to find a way to embark on a war. And that is the war that they are doing. So it's about resource, what I call it, resource colonization. To be able to do that, they must kill. They must take you over and take ownership of Gaza. And that is what they are doing. If you look at the start of the war, they said that, look, they were moving people to the Rafah area. So that is a safe place that you should go. So everybody who wanted or was not part of the war, they all started moving to the Rafah area. And they started settling so that they can have their peace. Sooner than later, after they have demolished everything, they started towards the Rafah and asked the people to move from Rafah. Where are they going to move to? You have destroyed everything. Where are they going to move to? So as they are moving, you launch bombs on them. Yesterday, you were in hospitals. You were in hospitals attacking and killing people. So anything that is called Palestine, Israel wants to exterminate. And the United States does not see anything wrong with the carnage that you see every day. That when the ICC, in my opinion, even did wrong calculation because Hamas is under bombardment. And then the ICC goes to say that Haniya and the two other leaders of Hamas, that they are also charged for war crimes, and you are looking to, what is the thing? The warrant. You are issuing a warrant on them. I am being beaten. Then you say that even as I am being beaten, you are issuing a warrant for my arrest. This equalization from the International Criminal Court does not add up. Because no one has seen that the Hamas people have gone into Israel to do anything since 7th of October. It has been Israel that has entered Gaza and is killing, destroying, shredding everything on sight. This is global knowledge. So if there are people to deal with, it's Benjamin Netanyahu, the defense minister, and the chairman of the war cabinet. These are the people that you have to deal with. But for equalization purposes, you brought in, what is his name? You brought in the Hamas leadership. That certainly doesn't bode well with some ones of us. But for the United States to single out, to say that, look, sanctioning Israel and looking for their leadership, you are going to sanction the International Criminal Court, comes to endorse the fact that we have always maintained that the United States is happy when it has to destroy in order that it will continue to be a superpower. That will not work. And I am very devastated that the United States is saying that if the International Criminal Court succeeds in their warrant, it means that the United States is next. What wrongs are the United States of America committing that they are afraid that they should not be charged? I can understand. They went into Afghanistan, devoured Afghanistan, left it in shreds. They went into Iraq and said that they were looking for weapons of mass destruction. They did not find an orange knife to peel orange, but they devastated Iraq. They killed Saddam Hussein and his children who lived with Saddam and others. And eventually, they said Saddam was a dictator. You did not go there because Saddam was a dictator. You went there to look for weapons for mass destruction. You did not find any. Leave. You killed. You destroyed. They went into Libya of recent time. And we saw what Obama and Hillary Clinton did. Today, Libya is I don't know how to describe Libya. Libya doesn't exist because it exists only in map. But in terms of a country, Libya doesn't exist because it's being governed in laws and in tribes. So this is what the United States is afraid of, that one day the crimes and atrocities that they have committed globally will come catching them. And so let's not allow Israel to suffer. I want to commend Spain, I think the Netherlands, and
Netherlands,
Spain, and Ireland. I want to commend them for their courageous stand to recognize the Palestinian state and to say that on the 28th of this month, they will make official proclamation that Palestine is a state that exists by itself. Israel can exist alongside. And this Israel is unhappy. They have withdrawn and recalled their ambassadors. Look, but for the timidity of Ghana, we have the ambassador of the Palestinians here, and it has been a long-time relationship. So it means that Ghana should make an open pronouncement recognizing the Palestinian state and the independence of the oppressed people. That is the only way we can show solidarity.
Thank you very much. Alhaji.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning again to your good self, to Comrade Benamona, Patriot. You see,
God bless you.
Yes, who we are trying to convert into a real national patriot. The viewers of Pan-Africa and the Brechina people of the Sanaru constituency. I am not surprised, notwithstanding the fact that I have serious misgivings about this, what you just read, in respect of the U.S. position on this matter. I am very disappointed in the Biden administration because the Democrats, generally whom many of us in Africa support, because we think that they are relatively more forthcoming when it comes to some of the issues that affect our continent, even though there's a general American design in their foreign policy to continue global hegemony and domination. So clearly, it's there. But I'm disappointed in the Democrats and the Biden administration. They are even trying to be more hardline, more isolationist, more hardcore than even the Republicans that we know. Trying to even do certain things that even under Trump administration they are doing. I'm very surprised about that. And when I saw President Biden trying to apply a little bit more pressure to Israel to stop them from going to Gaza and others, I thought those were the going to Rafah. I thought those were the right things to do, to try and claw back some of the lost support President Biden was having in respect of the impending election in November. But to say this kind of things, because this global order that we are talking about has been, the United States has been core at the center of instituting the current global order. So who brings the baby and is in a hurry to take the baby away? Okay? This current global order on which this current world order is subsisting, it's largely the product of the United States and the West. The regime of human rights and fundamental freedoms, which is at the core of any democracy, which they say they are committed their lives, their property, their resources to defend it. It's what they have just tarnished with this statement that they are making. The Rome Statute and other things upon which the ICC and others are established are predicated on Western, so-called Western human rights values. If you look at the ICCPR, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and others, those are the things that are anchored on it. And so, what is the U.S. What is the current administration saying when they make this kind of statement? What signal are they sending to the rest of the world? It's pure hypocrisy and double standards. Because nobody, and I want to join Comrade Benamona in saluting the South African government of President Cyril Ramaphosa. They've done so well. They've done Africa proud by dragging the black-soaked Netanyahu government and others to the International Criminal Court. How many years has Russia been in Ukraine? You can count. Fine, I have already said that one loss of any civilian life on July is one life lost too many. It's not permissible, now accepted. So even one life is too much. But compare what Russia has done in Ukraine. How many civilians? We are not talking of the military. After the military say they are fighting, so that one is you can find a way to legitimize it. But the civilians, under international humanitarian law, it is illegal. It is a crime against humanity. There are acts of genocide when you willfully attack and kill civilians. From October to now, more than 35,000 Palestinians have been murdered in cold blood. Civilians, 70% of them are women and children. What have the women and children done? So yes, if you cite the loss of innocent lives on October 7th, when you said the Hamas people went and also killed innocent women and children. It's damnable, just like the same thing you are talking about. So who are they greeting in the evening, sacking in the evening is greeting good night? If killing of civilians is bad, as was done, say, on October 7th, then what has happened since October 7th, when Israel went into Gaza, where today we have more than 35,000 civilians. These are the people who are killed. Those who are maimed are about 80,000 or 90,000. Add that figure. You are entering into hundreds of thousands of people who have committed no crime, who have done nothing, but who have either been killed or maimed. What do you make of that situation? What do you make of that situation? Not too long ago, when the ICC served, you see, they served indictment warrant on president, no mean a president, the president of a superpower nation. Russia, President Vladimir Putin. The West was in a celebratory mood. I'm sure you have not forgotten. They praised the ICC to the high heavens and said that that was the right thing to do. Okay? The numbers under Vladimir Putin's watch that have been killed civilians in Ukraine, does it come anywhere close to what the genocide Israel is committing in Gaza? It doesn't come in. It pales into insignificance. If you look at it, you even say Vladimir Putin is a saint. So his indictment can be welcome for you, but the indictment of a larger criminal who has more or less supervised the deaths of tens of thousands of people. You see, I cannot understand how you go and throw a 200,000 pound bomb. The bombs the Americans gave them to drop. In the 200 pound bomb in a civilian area. You drop it in the midst of a distance and say that you don't intend to kill people. Is it flowers? What you are dropping there, is it flowers? It will explode massively and have a collateral effect at a certain radius. Yeah. So the intent to kill is there. You cannot run away from it. You cannot drop a bomb of that magnitude and say you don't have an intent to kill. It's laughable. The intent to kill is already established by your decision to drop the bomb. And take note, when they were going to Gaza, listen to all the Israeli leaders, from their minister for defense to Benjamin Netanyahu, then the leader of that extremist settler leader. All of them, they call the Palestinians that they are animals. They don't deserve to live. So you people are lawyers. Me, I'm not a lawyer. I've never intended to go to law school. Otherwise, I would have finished law decades back. Okay? They said that there are two things that join together to convict people for crimes. The actus reus, that is your mindset, no, what you have made up in your mind.
The actus reus is the crime itself.
No, the mens rea. The mens rea is the mindset, and then the actus reus is the actual commission of the crime. Yeah. The two of them must merge to produce that effect. Yeah. So if you say these people are animals, let's hand them out. And you actually go and you are dropping 200,000 pound, 200 pound bombs on them. The two are mixed. It's clear. So this is textbook. What Israel is doing in Gaza is textbook genocide. Clear and simple. You can't say anything else. Okay. So if Vladimir Putin can be indicted for even less things that you can even put your hands on, what will you do when you have this massive genocide that is being committed by Israel in Gaza? And that you say that one is unthinkable. Because part of the impunity Israel is exercising in this world is because they have treated them like they are untouchable. When you try to touch them, they shout this anti-Semitism. Anybody who criticizes Israel, they say it's anti-Semitism. And under the cloak of anti-Semitism, they hide behind and commit atrocities. It is not acceptable. It is no longer acceptable. If you say the right things and be accused of anti-Semitism, so be it. But that does not make you an anti-Semite. And I have always said it, that it is a distinction between the Jewish people and the Zionist regime. And I always try to make that distinction clear. that there are Zionists and others who are prepared to wipe all other Palestinians out of that area in order to claim the land. A land you did not have until 1948. Before 1948, there was no state of Israel. Israel was created by a UN Partition Resolution 242 of 1948. And subsequent resolution 337 and others all came in. So today you want to drive the Palestinians into the sea, who were the original owners of the land, whose land was divided into two, half given to you, and now today you don't want to recognize the other half. Because that is their ilk, that's their stock in trade. They have these isolationist, puritanical positions about the world and who is superior and who is inferior. But not the Democrats. And so that is why many disadvantage will always come back to prime position. So clearly, I think that is why President Biden himself saw at a point that continuing to supply Israel with those huge bombs that they throw and kill tens and thousands of civilians, they should withhold them. He himself saw it. So if he himself saw that they should stop what with the supplies of those bombs, is that not the right thing to do? Is that not a recognition? Is that not a tacit recognition that genocide and crimes against humanity is being committed, for which they should even draw back a bit and withhold those lethal bombs that they were supplying Israel to go and kill innocent Palestinians? So why now, if action is now being taken to its muzzle feather and go after the untouchables, I'm sure that they will earn more respect from the international community.
Right. Thank you very much, Alhaji ABA, for saying. Let me come to Mr. AC. Is the 52nd or 53rd state of the US where, to me, the sympathy, the empathy that were Pan-Africanist Bernard Mona and my international teacher, Honorable ABA Fuseni Alhaji, bring is true. But how about the Israelis who were also killed, the innocent Israelis? Are they not human beings? Are they not part of the protections under the UN Charter? Let's look at that. And so you go and eke out this war, and they're bringing it to your doorstep, and you're having a problem? Okay? And as we speak, the Hamas people are still hiding in the hostels amongst the civilians and throwing bombs. Okay? I'm not saying the war is good, and as he said, over 35,000 people affected, that's fatalities, and then over 80,000 injuries and co. Yes, it's worrying. The United Nations should not sit down for this to be going on. But hey, who brought it on? And then what is Palestine doing to tame Hamas? Nobody is talking about that. What is Palestine doing to tame Hamas? Palestine believes that what Hamas is doing is going to give them what they want, which is the totality of the Israeli. They don't want the existence of Israel. You know that? Now, Israel also doesn't want the existence of Palestine. Yes, he's right. Palestine predated Israel. It's true, right? But the Christians' understanding is different. Okay, I don't want to delve into that. But any Christian listening and watching knows that there's a biblical connotation to these things. Are the Israelis even Christians to start with?
No, I'm saying the Christians in the world. Okay, if you read the Bible, no, they are predominantly Muslims, but there are Christians in them. You say who? The Israelis?
Yes.
No, they are Jews, but there are Christians amongst them. They are Christians amongst them. Yes, they are Christians among them. They are Jews. But I'm saying Christians because the Christian Bible gives us definition of Israel and the promises made by God to the Israelis. That's a different matter, but that's not what we are talking here. So that is one aspect that I wanted to bring out, and I thought we should look at that objectively. If you know that the International Criminal Court is issued arrest warrant for 3 top Palestinians as well,
You get it?
So
You see, the ICC, you see?
They have not condemned that.
Who hasn't condemned that?
The big powers.
No, I told you, American interests. That's the issue. And you see, Honorable ABF Husseini is surprised that a democratic leader like Joe Biden is going this tangent. It tells you the American interest.
Joe Biden has always voted for war.
Yeah.
Okay, you see? Yeah. So he's a warmonger. You get it? Me myself, to be honest, I was also surprised. He has many times advocated for peace.
It's not true.
No, let me show you why.
It's not
Because
true.
currently, one of their things is to go for the two-state solution, which the Biden administration, I can say that for them, that they are anchored on the two-state solution, which is the only
No, that was Bill Clinton's solution.
Yeah, but
Biden is going by it.
Biden is not going by anything.
He has a two-state solution. Biden is proceeding on the wrong tangent.
Biden is not going by anything.
Let me finish and then thank you. So I think the ICC, I agree. You know, Chama Bernard Mona he's a Pan-Africanist, and actually all along we all thought the ICC was for African leaders. You get it. But fortunately, along the line, Kosovo leaders were also hauled before the ICC. You remember that, those things. So yes, Milosevic and his people. Then now,
you remember the interview that Karim Khan.
Karim Khan, okay, go on.
Yeah. You know what he said? He said in one of his interviews on BBC that top countries called him and told him that the ICC was established exclusively for African leaders and for rogue leaders like Putin.
Non-Western leaders.
Do you understand? That is what they told him. And he said this on BBC.
Wow.
Right.
It may be true, they told you. It may not be true. Like what we're about to discuss about this third accused person who the attorney general didn't say anything
Is that your conclusion?
Who will be coming? Don't worry. No, I know it, so don't worry. So these are matters. I think these issues, ICC should tread cautiously. It's not fair that Biden and US is protecting Israel. You saw what the Blinken said. He said if they are going after Israel, it means they can come after them, which means they must be on guard to defend